Welcome to the online compiler that we're going to be using for this course, the GDB Online Compiler. So there are a variety of programming languages that you can use when you're using this. So we're going to be using Java. So this is going to be just an introduction to how to use it, and as well as a little bit about how to create some output. So the language up here, Java, you can see the list of other programming languages that we can handle with this, but we're going to keep it on Java. And then I'm going to set this up to display hello world and a little bit more text. So we've got a run button up here. So if you hit the run button, we just have to wait a minute. And then in the output window, which I'm usually going to have off the bottom of the screen, we'll get our output here. We don't need to understand what the program is doing yet. And then we're going to get this green text here to show us that the program ended. Okay, so let's look at what we've got here. We've got system.out.println, and then hello world is the text that we've got here. If I put an exclamation point and then run it again, I'm going to get the same text in the output, but with an exclamation mark. So now it says hello world in an excited way. So what can we do here? The first thing that I typically do is I'm going to put the name of the file. So at the beginning of the program, I'm going to use these 2 slashes for a comment, which means this will be a line that the compiler will not run. It's just we can see the text. So file name, we'll keep this as hello world. And then I'll do some editing to the content here. So underneath, system.out.println is kind of a cumbersome line of code when all we want to do is display something. So very often I will copy and paste. So a quick way to select a line is begin at the beginning. I'm going to hold shift and hit the end key. It'll go to the end. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And then here on the next line, I will put my name is Mr. Stardom. You will have your own name that you can put here, or you can use mine. And then I'm just going to put 2 extra statements that I can use to edit in just a minute. So let's say I like potatoes. I like computer science. There we go. So when I run this, what you're going to get is these 4 lines printed one after the other, just like this. So what is this line doing here? So we'll put some comments just as notes as we go along. So here, println is what's called a method. So the method usually performs some action that we program it to do. So println has the action of taking whatever we give it here and displaying it for the users. Hello world is the parameter. So it's the bit of information that it needs to perform its action. What about this other stuff? So out is kind of the, if you want to think of it like a folder where we find println. It's not really the term, it's not really a folder, but that's a good way to think about it. So println is inside out, which is part of system. So we're going to talk more about this later, but system is what's called a class. So it's like its own program. So system.out.println finds the method println, we send it the parameter, and then it displays it. Okay, now println is one of them, but there's also another one called print. So change the second, third, and fourth lines to print instead of println, and we'll see what it does. So I'm going to run this. And this is what we get. It mashed them all together in one line because I didn't have the ln to say when you're done printing, go to the next line. So thankfully, Java and a lot of programming languages work with some escape characters, which are special codes that it can process while it's displaying or dealing with text. So what I want to do is I want it to go to the next line after this text is displayed. So what I do, if I want to use an escape character, I'm going to use a backslash, and then I put the character that holds the action. So \n is going to do the same as the ln. So it's going to skip to the next line as soon as it's done. So if I run this again, you can see I'm back to my old output. So the \n is going to go back to the beginning here. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to tab these in. So you can do that with a \t. \t, \t. And if I run that, tab works as 8 spaces. So right here, it put 8 blank characters before the actual output. A couple others that we often want to use. One would be, imagine if we wanted to put a backslash into the program. So I don't just like potatoes. I'm going to make a 2-item list here of what foods I like. So I'm going to put sushi \, usually use a / for a list, but if I use a \, let's find out what happens. I get an error here, and it says illegal escape character. So what it thinks I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use an escape character called \p, just like the \n. So that's not what I want to do. I actually want to display a backslash. So the way we do that is we put 2 backslashes here. Now, I don't know why you would want to put quotation marks around the word computer in computer science, but pick a word in your output, and we're going to put quotation marks around it. And watch what happens here. So you can see that it has colored the word computer differently, just the same color as print. So what it thinks is this is a piece of text, this is a command of some sort, and then this is another piece of text, because pieces of text are surrounded by quotation marks. So if I actually want the quotation marks to be displayed, I'm going to put a backslash before them. There we go. So this is just an overview of how we do basic output using Java, how we use comments, how we use escape characters. It's easy to forget about some of these escape characters, so it's a good idea to keep this saved so you can hit the save button and then refer back to this program whenever you need to take a look at what are available escape characters.